Yo everyone, I hope you have a good day. I got some freaking neat sounds for you to share today. And before we get into the main topic of the video, let me freaking make two disclaimers. First, believe me, I wouldn't be making this video if I really didn't believe there are some very nice tips which may benefit your gameplay. They benefited mine since I realized those and started implementing them in my keys. And second, you may already be doing those, like they are not like some super secret knowledge and shit like that. It's more for common sense things, but I assure you, like, so many people are not like realizing and not doing them. So let's freaking get into it without further ado, and I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Go grab a snack, relax, and boom, let's go. So first, that's very important thing to have in mind when you do Mythic Plus, especially if you're newer to Mythic Plus. Don't get frustrated if you are overtiming keys, don't get frustrated and tilted if you're depleting keys, like disbanding keys. This is normal. You're not supposed to time every key. Don't enter the key, don't enter the dungeon with the mentality of just getting score and leaving. Like, that's nice, like everyone likes to get score in Mythic Plus, right? But that really shouldn't be even your main focus in the dungeon, if you ask me. Each run you should focus on just becoming a better player, understanding the mechanics of the dungeon better, and your main goal should be exactly that, just doing each pull clean and realizing your mistakes from previous runs and from your current run, understanding how you can do better certain pulls, for example, if you are tank, and how to react better to mechanics. Overall, like, your main focus should be just improving your skills, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, the score reflects your abilities to a good extent. So if you improve your skills in general, yeah, in Mythic Plus, if you improve how you play your class, then the score will follow inevitably. But if you have your gaining Mythic Plus score as your main freaking focus, always you enter the key and you're like, okay, let's just focus on just the score, forget about, like, I don't care about basically anything else, let's just get the score and leave. This is not the best mentality, if you ask me, and this could just make you pretty like tilted quite easily if you happen to join a lot of like sketchy pugs, have these bans and shit like that, and you might be like, oh damn, I can time keys, like what fuck, maybe I should just not play Mythic Plus for a while or something like that. In order to not get too burned out from disappointments and shit like that, again, don't enter the dungeon to focus on timing the key, enter the dungeon, focus on doing your best and becoming a better player, essentially. That's my first tip. And I honestly had this mentality of like just score for the longest time, and recently I actually kind of shifted and I'm like, okay, let's just do my best, forget about score, forget about even timing the key, and just improve and become a better player and master my class even like more. And there you go. And since I did that, like, I surely noticed a positive change in my Mythic Plus experience, definitely. So that's for tip number one. The second tip is even more common sense than this one, but especially this season, I've seen a lot of people are not like doing this shit, and it's kind of frustrating. But hear me out, bro. Like, if you are timing, not timing, bro. If you are typing shit during the run, which is not helpful, like if somebody fucks up the mechanic and you're like ... and like, oh man, or like, come on, this is just this can't lead to anything good in the run. This can only lead to tilt and disbands, nothing else, and failure. If you're going to type anything in the key, you can either encourage somebody, like if somebody fucked up the mechanic and they're like, oh, or something like that, you can type, don't worry, or like, happens, and just move on. Don't make a drama out of like somebody fucking up a mechanic and shit like that, because it's literally pointless, especially in a scenario with a timer, because Mythic Plus is timed. For example, in League of Legends, when somebody starts like whining about somebody else like fucking up something or something like that, at the end of the day, at least in League of Legends, you don't have really a timer, so it's a little bit more relaxed. But if you waste time typing in Mythic Plus, it's really there, zero benefits for that. So either you encourage somebody and just be a positive like vibe in the key, uplift people, or you can like say something informative, like regarding your cooldowns, for example. You can be like, okay, I have cooldowns in X amount of time, something like that, or don't put too big, I don't have cooldowns, something like that. You got me. But yeah, if you're going to use the chat during your pugging experience in Mythic Plus, either be positive, uplifting, or informative, or don't at all, because it literally can't do you any good. Like you're just gonna like screw your run, right? Nothing good will come out of it. Okay, and for tip number 3, and that's very important, especially if you're not playing meta. So this tip is arguably probably the most important tips. Hear me out now. And you're probably already doing that, and it's again super common sense things, but right, so push your own key, especially if you're not playing a meta class or spec, because first of all, if you're not playing meta spec, there's like you have much harder time finding groups for yourself. But it's not just about that. I just find that often people are not really inviting the best players to their keys. Like I join a group and I'm thinking to myself like, bruh, was this really the best pick here? Like shouldn't you have gone for the other person in the queue and stuff like that. And I just find that when I'm actually trying my own key, I have much more success. I actually very rarely deplete my own key when compared to when I join another group. And I'm in general very picky, and that one of the best advice probably I can give you: push your own key, be extremely picky who you invite to the group. It's not necessarily about picking meta or non-meta. Just look at the person score, previous score, even raid progress, especially on tyrannical weeks. Speaking of that, on tyrannical weeks, I look for raid progress as well. Like I'm like, okay, this guy's like 5 out of 9 heroic. Like I'm kind of sus, like I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter that much, but I'm just like that. And when I see somebody with like 7 out of 9 mythic, and I'm like, okay, this guy probably knows what they're doing during boss fights, so that's gonna be a benefit. But of course the score is the main thing to look up to. And yeah, be very picky, just learn and be aware of the different class synergies, which class benefits other classes. For example, some like common sense things like demon hunters boosting like magic damage taken by the target, and stuff like that in general. And by pushing your own key, again, you have all the time in the world, as long as you're not in a hurry, to just wait in the queue, sit until you find the best players to join. When I'm just forming my group, sometimes I literally leave like 30 minutes just staying in the queue, and there are like often so many like actually very nice players queuing up, either with their ults or trying different spec. I remember we had what it was. I think we had this retribution paladin with like 3.56k score, something like that, which was actually main healer, something like that. And yeah, push your own key and be very picky who you take in the group, and just gain the knowledge of which things you should look for when you are forming the group, and again, which classes work best with each other. I can actually make a video sharing some of my favorite group comps, which work very well for pugging. Like, again, speaking solely from pugging perspective, entry like high-end pre-made groups, Mythic plus like player, mainly pugging like 99% of the time, and there we go. So these are my advices, bro. Like, very common sense for the most part, but a lot of people are not doing those things, and it just hurts everyone at the end of the day. Because for example, the second thing I was talking about, if somebody starts arguing or making drama out of something during the key, this ain't hurting only like themselves, but everyone else basically in the group, because yeah, it may cause all kinds of like bad issues during the run. Have a good day. Hope you find some of those useful. If you did, you can leave a comment telling me which is your favorite snack or something. But yeah, peace. See you in the next video eventually.